Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for volunteering at the Baptism Splash. It is going to be an amazing weekend. I'm so excited for it. So this video is intended to equip you as one of the volunteers for our splash this weekend. We are going to walk through the entire process that someone who is getting baptized will see, so that way, no matter where you are volunteering in the process, you'll kind of know all the different steps. And so if anybody asks you a question along the way, hopefully that you will feel equipped to answer that. So we are going to start off here at the registration table. So we have folks who are pre-registered who will stop here, and then anybody who decides in the moment that they want to get baptized will also stop at this table. We have forms and everything that they'll fill out. There will be another video for those folks who are signed up to serve here at the registration table, just because there's a little bit more detail involved in that. But this will be the first stop where folks will drop off their belongings, they'll get their t-shirt, and then they will head over toward the stage. So come on and follow me this way. So right here is where our line will start to form for folks who are getting baptized. We'll hold them right here, and we'll have a volunteer who will be walking them up onto the stage. So the line will form this way, and then you'll kind of be looking, if you're the volunteer here, to see how many folks are over here getting ready to go up the steps. There will be someone at the top of the steps going into the baptistry, so you want to just make sure you're keeping eye contact with that person, because they may wave on to have some more people go up. I do also want to just make a note for our larger services, which tend to be the 9:45 and the 11:30. We just want to be mindful of how we're moving people through the process, because we do have a service starting after each of those services. And so as you're talking with people in this role, if you find that it would be appropriate maybe to kind of group some folks together and have them baptized together, please feel free to do that. That's great. Also, as you're in this role, you get to interact with people as they're waiting in line. Kind of listen to their stories a little bit, and then if you hear something in someone's story that might be worth passing along, make sure to do that as you walk them up onto the stage here and pass them off to the person who's standing at the top of the steps, because they'll want to make sure to relay that to the baptizing pastors in the pool, because if we have time for it, we'll want to share some of those stories. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and walk up the stage now. Now, if you're the person who's standing down here, you're going to want to make sure that you walk up with the person who's coming up onto the stage. All these wires, too, will be taped down on the day of, but you'll notice we've got these orange arrows kind of guiding the way back here. So we learned last year when we did this that it's really valuable to have someone actually walk folks back here, because it is unfamiliar territory with a lot of opportunities to trip or not really know where you should be going. So then the person will stop here, and the person at the top of the steps will cue them in. And this is an opportunity for you to communicate with that person too, in case they are kind of observing some things in the pool, and maybe things need to move a little bit more quickly. They're like, yeah, if you could grab a large group, that would be great. That'll be an opportunity for you guys to communicate. And if you are the person at the top of the steps, again, just encourage you to interact with people as they're waiting to get into the pool. Try to get a little bit of their story if you can. And then if it's something that we might want to share, go ahead and pass that along to the pastors that are baptizing in the water. But really, we want to do that because we want this to be an experience for people where they feel seen, and these opportunities here along the way is a great chance to do that. So I'm not actually going to get in the pool, but the people who are getting baptized will be. So I'm going to walk behind the pool. So this is a special secret spot that I've got some very important volunteers to help with. So as folks stand at the bottom of those steps, they're going to want to probably take off their shoes. And so I've got a whole crew of kiddos who fit perfectly behind this pool and can duck down low enough so that they're not in the camera shots, and they're going to be running shoes back and forth for us. So the next spot that I want to mention is this spot at the bottom of the steps, where you get to hand out a towel to the folks who have just been baptized. This is a really special place to serve, and you'll be visible too from the stage. It's kind of open this year, so just be mindful of that as you're standing here. Try not to have like personal conversations too much, or looking disinterested. Try to remain engaged in what's going on and really excited, and be prayerful too. I mean, as you're receiving folks as they're coming out of the water, It's a really, really exciting moment. And also be mindful of those kiddos who are running back and forth and kind of help guide them a little bit too. They're going to put the shoes right behind me here backstage. All right, so let's keep continuing on. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, all of your extra towels are here in these bins. So we have some new towels that we got that are full-size towels, and then all of our older towels are back here in these other bins. They are a little bit smaller, which is why we needed the newer towels. But we went through all of our old towels last year, so I'm expectantly praying that we're going to go through all of these towels this year too. All right, so let's head back this way. All of this will be evened out and look really pretty on Saturday and Sunday, but for right now, we're still a little bit in setup mode. All right, so folks, will continue back through this way. So if you're someone who's stationed back here to help folks, get their shoes on, you're just, again, another person along the way for them so that they feel seen and they feel like they're not just kind of getting dunked and then coming out and kind of wandering around back here. The other thing that I would love for the person who's back here to do is just make sure you encourage folks to kind of stay to the left and grab onto that handrail as they go down the steps. We will have someone mopping the steps throughout our services, but it can get a little slippery. We don't have carpet on those steps, so if you can just encourage them to hold on to that handrail, that would be great. All right, so we're going to keep going on, and they'll head down these steps holding on to the handrail, and again, you'll see we've got our orange arrows helping us out. So they'll come down to the bottom of the steps here, and there will be a long table here where their belongings will be. So remember way back at registration, I mentioned that they'll drop their belongings there. So if someone comes up and they want to get baptized and they've got a watch, we have a system in place where they can deposit that with us, and we will run it over here to this table so that they can pick it up after they have been baptized. Same thing if they are pre-registered and they have clothes that they have brought with them to change into. This is where they can pick those items up and then head into the bathrooms to change. So right now, again, we're still in setup mode, so that table's not here, but just imagine that it is. All right, and then they will walk through these doors and into the cafe. All the lights will be on Sunday. And they'll come around the corner here, and you'll see we've got this great carpet that's laid down so that it'll catch a lot of the water and help with the cleanup. And it's a lot safer so that things don't get slippery. All right, so the last spot that I want to mention is this spot right here, which is our baptism assistant position. So at some of our services we have a male and a female serving, and in that situation you can feel free to be in the bathrooms asking people if they need assistance with anything, maybe like an extra towel or a bag for some of their wet items. But if it's just one of you serving, which is what we have at some of our services, then feel free to kind of stand in this vestibule area. There will be, I've got staged back here some hampers for folks to put their wet towels in, so you'll want to switch out those hampers with a new plastic bag. All that stuff is back here too. And one other thing, folks who get baptized will get one of these cards that show them how to access their baptism photo. So you'll get to hand these out to folks as well in this spot. So all along the way, we just want people to feel like we're celebrating with them. We're excited for the journey that they are on. And I just really appreciate the ways that you are going to be a part of what God is going to do this weekend at Mountain. Thanks so much.